We're live. Good morning, friends. There are a handful of things that I've noticed Black women either hinging their move abroad on or letting hold up their move abroad that I want to talk about today. I'm going to read the whole list for you in just a second, and then I'd like to talk about those things. I believe that Black women live better lives, have a better quality of life when they leave the United States of America or Canada or the UK, right? When you leave that country and you go to a place where you can thrive. And there are a handful of things that Black women often ask about when we're in community, ask about other places that I think are holding your move abroad back. It's going to make sense to you in just a second. Stick with me. But my name is Stephanie Perry. Welcome. I'm a house sitter, creator of House Sitter School, and the co-creator of Exodus Summit. I help Black women take sabbaticals and career breaks. I help Black women move abroad. I help Black women bop around the world as a nomad. If these things sound good to you, please hit the subscribe button. I'll wait. I'll sip a little tea while you do that. Thank you. And then turn on notifications, ring the notification bell. You'll be notified when I post a video or when I go live with my friends. Hi, friends. Hey, Benita. Hey, KB. Good morning, Homegirls Hummus. Hey, Journey to Me. I'm on the road living. Want y'all to know we just moved to Costa Rica and we love it here. Congratulations. That's wonderful. Good morning, Chanel and Mia Amor and Sabrina. Hey, LaRonda. Hey, Montine. Hey, Maritin. Good morning, Florida Lee Living. Naduella B. Hey, Nichelle. Hey, Beja Soul. Hello, Rain. D Sheep. Hey, Diane Heidelberg. On her way to Panama. Hey, SLS Forever. How's everybody? Around here, we say good morning. I have a cough drop. I've got tea. Listen, okay? Don't have me out here talking for nothing. Say good morning to me, okay? I'm in Bogota, Colombia. There's not a whole spectacular view, but there's a little view. Let's see, little peak of mountains. I'm in Bogota, Colombia. There's a tree in Latin America that gets me every time. It's got the red, spindly, pointy, like stickers on it. And it takes me a while every time I get down to a place with that tree. It takes me a while to get used to it. Yesterday, man, I thought I was sick yesterday, but I think it was allergies. I woke up feeling a little, right? And by the time I finished my meeting with the Exodus Summit team, I was like, I am down for the count. But I took my medicine. I took a little extra. I feel like back in the day, when they had those like ephedrine or whatever, those diet pills on the market, right? You remember how high they used to make you? I felt like that. So I may have misread one of the ingredients on one of the medications I bought, and I felt so good. But I'm back in the cycle this morning of like getting myself together. So don't have me out here talking for nothing. Let me share with you the 5 things I believe I wrote down that are keeping Black women stuck, okay, from their move abroad. Friends, I'm in a lot of Facebook communities for Black women who are moving abroad. I am the co-creator of the Exodus Summit community, which has 25,000 Black women in community who are moving abroad, okay? I'm not making this list up out of thin air, but if I step on your toes, just like they say in church, if I step on your toes, just say ouch, okay? Wanting to move to a country where you can date or marry Black men is holding up your move abroad. If you're waiting on a Black man, you're not going. If you're waiting to find a place that has Black men that are going to date Black women, you're not moving abroad, okay? If your current health insurance, right? If you're worried about your current health insurance and that is holding you where you are, you don't want to leave your job because of your current health insurance, you're never going to go. And you're holding yourself up from way better healthcare experiences if you let go of that health insurance and go to another country. We'll talk about all of these a little bit more. If you're asking, where can you go where they don't have bugs? You're never going to make it. You're never going to make it. Bugs should not dictate where you move, okay? If you're looking for a country where you can get a job in that country, unless you're in a handful of fields, If you're looking for a job in another country before you move to another country, you're not going to make it. If you need a church just like your church, you're not going. If you need a church just like your church in another part of the world, you're not going to go. Okay, so those are the 5 things I came up with. Probably during this conversation, we'll come up with a few more. All right, do we want to go in any particular order? Hello. Mahogany Healing says, no, not bugs. Girl, get over the bugs, okay? You are this big and a bug is this big, okay? You're going to be okay. Letting bugs determine where you go in the world is shutting off most of the places you're probably going to like. If you don't want bugs coming into your house, live in a condo, live in a get above the 2nd floor and you'll be fine. If you can't navigate bugs, as you know, sometimes when I feel a little under the weather, I also am not as gentle as usual. I need to preface this for anybody who's new. Anybody who's been around has heard me be not so gentle when I don't feel good, when I don't feel 100%. If you're letting bugs determine your future, you don't care about your future, right? Because a bug is this big. Right? Scorpions don't move. If a scorpion comes into your house, you hit it with a shoe until it's dead, and then you sweep it out the door. They don't even move. They don't move. They just sit there, right? Get you some Ortho Home Defense, even if you have to bring it with you in a check bag. Get you some Ortho Home Defense, spray it around the perimeter of your place, get above the 3rd floor, get above the 2nd floor even, and live your life. I am really sick of the bugs question because, girl, you're a whole adult. You're a grown-up. Some of the women who ask me about bugs have raised children, have gotten an education, have led departments at their job, and you're asking me where you can move where there's no bugs? Girl, please. Fix that. You're not even afraid of bugs. You just think you're supposed to be afraid of bugs. If you're afraid of bugs, you would have a psychiatrist who would help you figure out why you're afraid of this little tiny object. If you were truly afraid of bugs, you would be in therapy. Do bugs first. I just saw this message. Thank you, CM Sue. I'm going to try to be gentle because on this channel, we speak to Black women with loving kindness. I believe that loving kindness and gentleness do go hand in hand. And I'm going to try to make sure to remember that during this first segment. This is the most upsetting question to me. I know I get asked a lot of questions. This is the most upsetting question to me, the bug question, because you're a grown-up. You're 5 foot something. You're 100 and something pounds, and you're asking me about a bug. Fix that. Go to therapy. Bugs are everywhere. Bugs are crucial to the existence of the planet. We need bugs to live. You got to learn how to be in harmony with some of nature. White people have convinced some Black people that we don't like nature, so that we give up and surrender our rights to nature. We love nature. We need nature. We are nature. Stop asking me about some bugs. Bugs are everywhere. Come up with a plan and then go. Right? Okay. Any other questions about bugs? Anybody have any other questions about bugs? Get up off of the 2nd floor. Get above the 2nd floor. Get you some Ortho Home Defense and a shoe, and you will be fine. Right? People are hardly ever asking about the mosquito concentration. Now, mosquitoes, I will put separately. People aren't usually asking about mosquitoes. When people ask about mosquitoes, they say the word mosquitoes. When people are asking about bugs, they mean everything. Mosquitoes, there are places that are tropical that do have mosquitoes. That's why a lot of people prefer a cooler climate. In Colombia, I'm not in Cartagena. I'm in Bogota, where the high today is 65 probably. So I don't have to deal with mosquitoes. I've gotten one. I did get a mosquito bite while I was here the last month. High today is 64 degrees. Ain't no mosquitoes, okay? Although, like I said, I did get one mosquito bite last year when I was here. Oh, I tried. Hello, the classy hacker. I tried. Let me drink some more tea. I mean, this is not the soothing tea. Where's the soothing tea? I don't have the right thing. Connie Perry has a pop-up tent on her back deck. Good morning, Mom. All right, come up with your game plan and go somewhere, okay? I sincerely, Britt, I've been on this YouTube channel since 2019. I'm tired of that question. Sincerely. I've helped quite a few women move abroad or take a sabbatical or house sit. Some of them are here today. I've been a very helpful person, but I'm sick of that question. If that's you, right? If this hurts your feelings because you're a person who is letting bugs determine your future, I think you can fix that. I think you can fix that. Just like hair, one thing I didn't put on the list that we can talk about is hair, right? Can I go there? Do they have black hairdressers there? Are there people who can do black hair there? Do you want to live a life where your hair determines your future? Like, seriously? Think on it. Think on it. Hair, bugs, your particular church, right? Not the church, but your particular, the place where you go to church. Do you really want those things to have the say over your entire future? If you do, go watch a different video. I have a whole lot out there, okay? But if you don't, if you want to determine your future, let's talk about those things here. I don't think it was dismissive, because dismissive would be, I'm not answering that question. I have given you a real solution. Get a therapist, get above the second floor, get ortho home defense, and go to a cooler location. You're going to have fewer problems. I've given a solution, but I give that same solution all the time. Okay. I don't think that was dismissive. Dismissive would have been like, I'm not answering that question. That's not even worth my time. I've given it quite a bit of my time on this throat that's not going to last much longer today, right? I've given it quite a bit of my time. You may not like the way I've answered it, but I didn't dismiss the question. You can't say I dismissed the question. You might say you don't like my answer. Okay. Seriously, because there are things that you can't, there are phobias and fears where you can't live a daily life if you have that, right? Seriously. Okay, Tracy, you ready to move into waiting for a husband? I'd like to talk more particularly about waiting for a Black man. Okay, this is for people who date Black men, Black women and people who date Black men. If you're waiting for a Black man, if you're either waiting in the United States to get a Black man who will want to go with you, right? You don't even have one yet and you're waiting to try to find one and then y'all go together. Or if you're looking to go to a place that has Black men who date Black women, you're not going, friend, you're not going anywhere, right? You're not going anywhere. So I'm in a Facebook group for Black women in Colombia. And one of the women in the group, not a Facebook group, a WhatsApp community. And one of the women this is what made me think of this, just either yesterday or the day before. I just went through a breakup. I'm single now. She's in Colombia already, right? Where do I go to date? Where are the Black men? And the response, with the kindness, maybe not gentleness, but not with kindness. It wasn't me. I didn't type this out, but other women in the community typed it and agreed. Girl, if a man, and a lot of times when people mean Black man, they mean American. They mean Black American men, right? This is a group mostly of Black American women, and they mean Black American men. And the response was, girl, yes, Black American men do move here, but they don't move here to date Black American women. Okay? Just like they don't date you in the United States, They don't date you in Colombia or Thailand or wherever else you are. They have moved there in particular to get that woman. They moved to Colombia to get them a Colombian woman. They moved to Thai or person. They moved to Thailand to get them a Thai person, right? Letting that determine your future means you're not going to have a future. You're not going to have the future you want if you're waiting for, if that's what's holding you up. Now that was the first comment. And then with a lot of seconds, I second this from the women in the group. And then a woman said, no, none, nowhere. So the question, where can I go to meet Black men? Nowhere. That's why we're focusing on ourselves. Now, I believe that there are people who, just like I feel strongly that I am going to be a mother, right? There are people who feel strongly about marriage. If you feel strongly about marriage, I'm not a give up person. I'm not here to tell you to give up on marriage. But if Black men where you aren't dating you, then they're not going to date you where you're going. Okay? I don't know why. I don't know. All right? So if you date men and you're in a country with a particular group of men, maybe you get used to dating that type of man, right? I put on my list of places I want to be countries where the average height of men is 5'9", because I'm 5'9". And I don't want to be in a country where the average height of a man is 5'5". That's the thing that matters to me, even though marriage is on my list at like number 40. Okay. I want a whole lot of things more than I want marriage. But I did put that on my list. So at least dating can be fun. Oh, I tried to fix my eyebrow and then I wiped off like a good portion of it. Where at least dating can be fun. But if you're waiting for a Black American man to either start dating you, and this is not for the women who have a man, right? But if you're waiting for a Black American man to start dating you and then y'all can go somewhere, girl, you ain't going. You're not going. Yes, I keep an eyebrow pencil within arm's reach at all times. Eyebrows are my thing. Eyebrows are a thing that dictate some of my life, right? But instead of saying, where can I go where my eyebrows aren't going to be sweating off all the time, I keep an eyebrow pencil I keep one in my pencil case. This is usually in my purse. I keep one in my pencil case in my purse. I keep one in my makeup bag. I keep an eyebrow pencil, right? Come up with a solution to the thing that is your thing. Okay. I think that the man thing is probably the easiest thing for other people to agree with. Like if you say, I don't want to move because I don't want to leave my church, people will be like, girl, you can find another church. It's not going to be the same church, but you can find another church. People move churches and stuff, right? If you say, I don't want to move because of bugs, people are going to be like, girl. But I think if you say, I don't want to leave here because I want to get married and I want to marry an American Black man, some people would be like, oh, okay. Right? It's one of the more acceptable reasons to put your life on hold. I think for women, it's really like understandable, acceptable, expected even, that you're going to, make some major sacrifices of yourself so that you can get this person, this phantom person. But there are a whole lot of women who have made a different choice, right? Whether that choice is to open up who you date, or like the woman said in the community yesterday, focus on yourself, right? There is another way. Just waiting in place for some magical, mythical event to happen in your life is probably the last solution, not the first solution, right? Probably not the thing that you want to do, because then you'll be out here, then you'll be home watching everybody else living her life and having a grand old time. And you'll be still waiting, still waiting. I'm not a give up person. I want to say one more time, the thing that you want for yourself, if it's the thing that you actually want and not a thing that society has told you to want, the thing that you want for yourself, I think you can have it, right? I think you can have it. You put yourself in the best position to have it. I happen to think, especially if you're a Black woman on my side of the paper bag test, I think that the best solution is to open up. Instead of saying a Black American man, you're gonna have to be a little more, be a little less discriminatory. Okay. QW, hello, good morning. Says, talk to the sisters who want to leave and their man doesn't. I'm not in anybody's marriage. I think the easiest solution, I think, is if you want to go abroad and your spouse doesn't, how much time can you spend abroad apart? Right? How much time before y'all, how much time can you go for? And he stays home. That seems like a reasonable solution to me, right? Married people travel solo. So go spend some time away abroad. Some women will choose, once they do that, some women will choose to stay abroad rather than to come back to a relationship. Black women are often women in marriages. Women who are married to men often have to give up so much when your list of things that you've given up or sacrificed is often much longer than his, right? So sometimes we see women come and go, right? I just keep a place in this city. I stay there for 2-3 months and then I come home. Sometimes that stays the pattern, but a lot of times once you get out there and you get that same perspective that we get, that single women get, that you can build a whole life for yourself, a whole life that includes everything that you want and none of the stuff you don't want. Sometimes that will be the end of a relationship, but not always. And then other times, and I think more time, I think I'll put these in reverse order, okay? And then more often, you go for a little bit, he comes and visits you, and he's like, oh, this is nice, we staying, right? Like men, sometimes your partner, I don't want to say men don't have vision, but some people don't have vision. Some people, right? Some women, some men, some people don't have vision. They can't see a thing until they have the thing, right? So you give them the thing. Y'all go to Panama for a month or Portugal for a month. I can't imagine anybody going to Portugal for a month and then being like, oh, well, we live in the United States. We just visit, right? Go to Thailand for a month and then see if he'll change his mind. I think in this community, that's more likely. A lot of the marriages in this community, the men are as equally committed to moving abroad as the woman, or sometimes more, right? I think with H&D Abroad is their YouTube channel. I think he was more committed than she was in the beginning, right? But hello, friends. But if of the marriages where the woman is more committed than the husband to moving abroad, oftentimes the solution is just we going for 6 weeks or whatever. We're going to come back. And he's going to be like, oh, okay, it can happen now. I see it. If you know that your partner does not have vision, I think that's the thing. I think people with vision know that they have it, and you know who doesn't have it, who can't see a thing until they have the thing, right? That's not a dig. It's a personality trait, right? I don't have quite a few personality traits that other people have, but I have vision, right? If you have a vision, they don't have the vision. Sometimes you have to live it before they'll agree to it. This is for men or women. So I hope that was a helpful thing. Also, make sure that you have in your media input spaces, make sure that you have couples, families in those spaces. So I mentioned H&D Abroad, H&D Abroad. We know Our Black Utopia, Our Black Utopia. We know Lamar and Angela, Lamar and Angela. These are YouTube channels of Black couples, men, women couples who have or are in the process of moving abroad. I'm sorry if I didn't mention your channel. These are the first three on my, top of mind. I don't feel good. Give me grace. Okay. These are channels that y'all should be listening to more than this one, right? I didn't put spaces. Well, you know what I'm saying. It didn't put spaces. If you do them top, stack them, it doesn't put spaces. H&D Abroad, Our Black Utopia, Lamar and Angela. And I'll link to them in the description. Any single moms? Yes, single moms of kids in school. Friends, can y'all help me with this? Who are the single moms with child-age children, not adult children? So Lamar and Angela had high school kids, even though she's not a single mom, but they had high school age kids. So Lamar and Angela, back to the man-women couples, back to the couples, the Yarbrough. And H&D Abroad, D is here. Hello, good morning. She says, Loving Abroad, great couples channel. Single moms, thank you, friends. Y'all come through every time. Ashley in Africa with a middle schooler who might be a high schooler by now. Kids grow up. And a preschooler who might be an elementary schooler by now. Ashley in Africa, very good. Thank you. Erica De Niro TV is preparing to leave. Oh, I don't think I knew this, Erica. 16 and 17-year-old kids. He graduates next month. We're scouting in August. Wonderful. I don't think I knew that. I don't think. Oh, Michelle at Casa Elm. So Michelle, her YouTube channel is her YouTube channel Casa Elm, or is it Mexico? Michelle is a single mother. She doesn't talk well, I guess she does talk about her kid. Yeah. Thank you. This is why you ask for help. Yeah, her YouTube channel is Casa Elm. Casa Elm. Thank you. Unique and Ronnie, do they have a YouTube channel? Unique and Ronnie are a couple who I believe are in Jamaica. I said Mexico a couple of times, but I believe they're actually in Jamaica. Okay, so single parents, people with children, both your sons are ready to go. That's amazing. Does Heather in Black in Portugal have children? KB, is that what you're saying? Mahogany Healing is leaving with her child, and her spouse is going to join in about a year. H&D Abroad did a wonderful, Charisma Cares. Yeah, Charisma Cares. Charisma has a YouTube channel. Yes, Charisma Cares has a son. She has a son with special needs. He uses like mobility aids to get around, mobility devices to get around. So Charisma Cares, also a single mom YouTube channel. Yvette, is this you, single mom living in Barbados from the UK? So many updates that I don't think I had, because I don't think I knew Yvette. Yvette, are you telling me you're in Barbados? I don't think I knew that. This is why you give people a minute to answer things. Yes, Charisma Cares. Yes, her channel is Charisma Cares. Yeah. Yeah, Brittany says you need one example, and then it's like the doors of the church are open. That's right. You need one person. You need to see someone doing it. And then it becomes a whole lot more possible for you to do it. Okay, Heather has a daughter. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Hey, the gallivanting grandma. Hi, Diamond. All right. So Get yourself examples. Oh, you're saying you wish you could remember the name of the lady in Barbados. Oh, so in Grenada, Zoe is Exodus Collective. Exodus Collective. She's a single mother of three children, and she did something that more women should consider. She moved with her three children. The oldest didn't like Grenada, so he's with his father in the UK. Right? You're not the only parent. Then that. LGBTQ plus channels, women. Yes. So in the financial space, brown girls invest to or trade to? Brown girls trade to. Who lives in maybe San Miguel de Allende. D, are you here? Brown Girls Invest To is the YouTube channel, okay? And y'all are making me use brain power. Also in San Miguel de Allende, Tracy, Tracy. Listen, I don't feel good. Tracy is gonna come to me. Collins, Tracy Collins, Tracie, Collins. Thank you. Y'all are here. Y'all are with me. Tracy Collins is in San Miguel de Allende with her wife, who I finally met. No, actually, I think we may have met in Cancun that time. Disregard. Someone who's not in Mexico. I don't know of anyone who's not in Mexico, honestly, because Mexico is a safer place for couples. If we can think of any who aren't in Mexico. Hi, TJ. My wife and I met you in New York at the meetup. Hello, hello. Hope y'all are doing awesome. I can't think of anyone who's not in Mexico. That's funny. I never thought about that. I'm sure there's some. I follow this couple on Instagram, and I don't think they're in Mexico, but I don't know that I could find them. What if I type in lesbian couple travel and see what happens? Accounts. No. They're called something like traveling lesbians or something. They travel full time all around the world. Plenty in Thailand. So girlfriend hour with Dr. Grayson. Hi, good morning. Or I guess if there are plenty in Thailand, but who? Listen, I don't know right now, but somebody will put some in the chat. Okay. Every couple that I know, every lesbian couple that I know is in Mexico. I think. And Gallivanting Grandma says, Jere Fernandez got married and had a child in Roatan, Honduras. Thank you. Yeah, all the gay women do seem to be in Mexico. It's a safe place and it's nice. Mexico can give you what you want. You like mountains, you like beaches, you like jungle, you like city, right? You got it all in one package. And there's tacos there. There's tacos. Who don't want to go to churros? Please. Mexico will give you what you want. So I don't have a good list of non-Mexico countries, but there are. We'll find some. I'll make that my business to find some and talk to them here on this channel because Mexico is overperforming compared to these other countries. Yeah, there are a lot. SLS Forever says there are a lot of Black queer couples traveling on TikTok. Yeah, but I wish I could name some for you, but I don't. I'm sorry. I did my best. We did our best. Mexico is everything, right? I mean, you gonna eat good? People are gonna be nice to you. Weather's good. They love Puerto Vallarta. Yeah. Yeah. Mexico is a total package. Hey Christian. Mexico is a total package, right? Mexico has a lot of things that you would want. Like I said, right? If you're a city person, Mexico City is the citiest city. I can't imagine a city person not loving Mexico City. It has everything. If you're a small town person, they got those pueblos mágicos, right? They got little small towns that are just adorable. Some of them are more expensive, but some of them are not. San Miguel de Allende is a pueblo mágico, but it's pricey now. But there's other pueblos mágicos that you will love. They're just adorable. Prices are still decent. You got to learn your Espanol if you're going to one, though. Yeah, Mexico's got what you need. There's a high altitude. Mexico City is high altitude, so you're not getting piping hot weather, although it's been in the 80s this month, which is not, I don't think that's normal for them. I don't think. But it's got what you want. Yeah, so I think, it's got a lot to offer. And that's why not just gay Black women, but Black women love them some Mexico, right? It's got everything. It is a total package. You don't have to stay there, but it is a total package. Does Mexico still have retiree visa, pensioners visa? So Mexico has pathways to residency that are not what you would call a retiree or pensioner visa, but it is a visa. Like in Panama and I think Ecuador, Panama and Ecuador have a retiree or pensionado visa, where if you're getting at least $1,000 a month in retirement income for life, you're welcome. They give you the visa, right? Permanent resident. Mexico is harder, more expensive to get, right? It's around $4,500 a month in income you need. Doesn't have to be for life though, but it's around $4,500 in income or around $70,000 in money in an account, cash money, or sometimes an investment account works. So Mexico has harder, so it's not technically a retiree visa or a pensioner's visa or a digital nomad visa. It's just, do you have this amount of money? Okay, come on down, right? Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about, so leading by example. I'm in a committed relationship. I'm leaving in a few months. He's staying behind. I'm ready. He's not quite there. It's okay. Right? It's okay. Y'all determine y'all's situation. You determine that. By y'all, I mean mostly you. Right? You determine it. But yeah, everybody does things differently. Just because when you think of moving abroad, you think of the whole family moving abroad at one time, doesn't mean that's how it has to be. Just because when you think of moving abroad, you think of going to somewhere for permanently, doesn't mean that's how it has to be. Traveling full time or bopping around or going back and forth, some months here, some months there, someone's in the US, someone's out. All of these things are valid. And all of these things are the right answer for somebody, right? So find out what the right answer is for y'all, for you, mostly you, and go from there, okay? So we've talked about these things that are deciding. Black men, bugs. Let's also talk about health insurance. In general, people in the United States are very reluctant to leave a job, even if they hate that job, because they'll lose their health insurance. So I want to tell you that you're not going to care about health insurance in Mexico, in France, in Portugal, in Barbados. Why? Because you can just pay out of pocket for healthcare at a very reasonable, very affordable price. And you can buy insurance in those places at a very affordable price. I'm talking to this lady right now on WhatsApp about my insurance here in Colombia. And so I haven't gotten a quote yet. I couldn't do it on the website. I couldn't navigate it in Spanish. And so I'm WhatsApping the lady, and let me see if she's given me, now she's giving me a voice note. I'll never listen to that. I don't listen to voice notes, okay? I don't know so she may have given me a quote, but I'll never know. I'm gonna reply to her in text. So yeah, Tanzania, okay, any place. I don't have to have named the country that you're considering for this information to work for you, okay? whatever country you're considering, as long as it's not the United States of America, you're going to find that you can pay for private health insurance, and most people are paying under $2,500 for a year, right? Or under around $200 a month or less. Quite a few women I've interviewed were at $1,500 for the year, $1,200 or $1,500 for the year over the last few years, but prices keep going up. I think Rick and Halisi pay less than $2,500 for the two of them for the year in Portugal. So I'm going to stick with $2,500 a year because it's a very, very generous insurance budget, right? For private insurance. But that's of the people who pay for private insurance, because quite a few people live in a place and don't have private health insurance. They just pay out of pocket. You don't need special, what is it called? Referrals from one doctor to go see another doctor. You make your appointment. You don't have the wait times that are often included in US healthcare in most places. And you don't have the inherent racial bias in healthcare that you have in the United States. There they are. Hey guys, Rick and Halisi pay $2,000 2,000 euros per year for private health insurance for the two of them. Okay, 2,000 euros is not much off $2,000 for the year for the two of them, right? So private insurance plus or paying out of pocket directly, you can be all right, right? So I had three. I thought I was going in to get 2 root canals and crowns and a filling, and instead I got 3 root canals and crowns. In Costa Rica, I went to a bougie dentist in Costa Rica who spoke English, and everything was in English, and it was for tourists, right? It wasn't necessarily only for the local people. It was for rich Costa Ricans, right? Because things are classist. It was for rich Costa Ricans and tourists. And I paid $800 per tooth for the root canal and crown, right? I've been told that's about half or 1/3 of what it costs in the United States. So and even if you have dental insurance in the United States, that price is pretty good, right? So that their insurance is very, very reasonable. I'm telling you, staying at a job in the United States for the insurance is cutting yourself off of the abundance that is healthcare in other countries. Okay? Healthcare is not a profit maker in other countries. It's just a way to keep people healthy. Right? In the United States, healthcare for profit is the way, it's the norm. But healthcare is not a for-profit venture, business in other places. It's just healthcare. And so we're used to paying $400 for that $4 thing in the United States. In other places, that $4 thing is $4. Right? We did those caravans. I did 2 caravans to Mexico, March and April. I did one in March and one in April. And both times, women from the caravan went to the pharmacy and stacked up on stuff and were like, let me tell you what I paid. So the retinol, I believe it was a retinol cream, Les paid, it was $3 and something per box. She ended up she got 6 boxes for $20 or something like that. 6 boxes for $20 for a retinol cream. She asked him for one and he was like, just take 6. Why pay $3 for a tube of retinol when you can pay $20 and get $3 and change, 3, whatever it was. He was like, take 6. They were packaged in the 6-pack. You know how they come little boxes with the plastic sleeve around them. And he was like, just take the whole 6-pack, right? $20, be happy, right? Are you saying the retinol is what's $45 with insurance? Is that what you mean? Yeah, 6 tubes for $20, $3 and change per tube, right? What have I paid for here? I don't know that I've paid for any I don't take any prescription medications. I can't name anything in Colombia that I've done, but that's what I saw in Mexico. I went with Amina, who was getting something for a family member, but I don't remember the prices. It was something that her aunt pays $1,000 per month for. I don't remember the price was, but it was like tens of dollars, not even hundreds of dollars, for something that her aunt pays $1,000 for. Now it was a different, this one the pharmacy we went to didn't have the exact one. If we'd gone to some other pharmacies, we probably could have gotten it. Her aunt wanted the oral, and they had the injectable. So if we'd gone to another place, we could have gone somewhere else. We could have probably gotten it if we had shopped around to different pharmacies. Wanda Gaines, I take a medication that's $260 in the US. Is that $260 after insurance? I take a medication that's $260 in the US, but in Thailand it's $43. I got as much as I could. Right? Clean them out. Yeah, it was for rheumatoid arthritis. $25? Okay. Injection was $25. Amina got Lasix, the furosemide. Amina got Lasix. She wanted a bottle of Lasix. And the pharmacist was like, well, it's on sale. Just buy 3, get 1 free. Take 4 for bloating. Like, just take 4. So we're used to things being prescription only, and there are quite a few things are not prescription only in other places, right? So that's number one. They feel like if you need it, you need it. Okay? If you need it, you need it. So prescriptions, you still need a prescription for scheduled narcotics, of course, and for something else. There was another class of drugs that you needed a prescription for. But other things, you just go in, you tell the pharmacist, either tell the pharmacist what you need or tell the pharmacist your symptoms, and the pharmacist will tell you what you need, which is what I often do. Me duele la cabeza y mi nariz es llenar. I don't know how to say stuffy nose. I just be like, my nose is full. Right? And then the pharmacist will be like this and this, right? Pharmacists have a bigger role in other countries. Pharmacists are healthcare providers and not just medication providers in other places. So healthcare, if you're staying in the United States, especially if you're staying on a job that you don't like, because of the healthcare, because you need that healthcare, let's see, what's an analogy? That is like, I don't know, you're just doing it the hard way. Pardon me. I can't come up with a good analogy. Pardon me, 1 second. Yeah, so Sabrina's weight loss medication cost her $499 per month. In Bangkok, it was $65. Yeah, healthcare is not a reason to stay in the United States. It's a reason to go. Healthcare is not a reason to stay in a job you don't like. It's a reason to go. Healthcare is not a reason to stay in a marriage or a relationship. It's a reason to go. If you're leaving the country, leave the country, get better healthcare. There's not really a list of countries where you can get better healthcare because it's like everywhere. But I would say smaller islands worry me, right? I would want to be on either a big old island where they're going to have a big old healthcare system, I would assume, or not an island if healthcare was a main concern. Like I said, I'm not on any I'm not on any medication, so healthcare is not a thing that I make part of my list of what I need in a new place. But if good healthcare is on your list, right, then any city is going to be a place that you could be, where you could access great healthcare. There are places that retirement age people love to go. That includes Panama, a few different cities in Mexico, Merida, Mexico City. There are places, Lisbon, Portugal, Coimbra, Portugal. There are places that retirees love to go because of the healthcare. But I think the real answer is that it's good almost anywhere else. Right? So yeah, Farida. Hi, Farida's Beautiful Life. My family's from Grenada, but the healthcare is not the best. Yeah, small islands, that would worry me, right? If healthcare was the, an important piece for me, important part of my move abroad, I think I would probably stay away from the smaller islands. But other than that, you're going to be good, right? You're going to be good. If it's a place where corporations move their employees and they have rich local people, you're going to have good health care, right? Mexico, rich Mexicans are richer than you can believe, richer than you could dream. A rich Mexican has more money than I can fathom. They got good health care, right? A rich Colombian, please. They got good health care here. So you don't need that to be a thing that keeps you where you are. It's a reason to go. I sincerely believe healthcare is a reason to leave the US, not a reason to stay. Hi, C Bliss. Are you doing a YouTube challenge for those interested in starting a YouTube channel? I am. Thank you for asking. It starts on Monday. Okay. The YouTube challenge starts on Monday. I had 5 seats still available this morning when I woke up. If you go to vicarious.com/challenge, you can register. YouTube, put this link up and then I'll talk. One thing at a time. Vicarious.com/challenge if you want to join. YouTube is the reason that I can be looking at Bogota, Colombia as a place to live. It's the reason I'm getting health insurance. I have an attorney helping me with my visa, right? It's because of YouTube. It's because my YouTube channel has grown a business, right? It started with House Sitter School and then Exodus Summit, and now my YouTube coaching business. These things exist because I started one day, I turned on my camera and started a YouTube channel and started talking. And now 194,000 subscribers later, thank you all, 194,000 subscribers later, I have what I need. All of my needs are met. All of my needs are met because of YouTube, right? Money needs, all of my money needs are met. And other needs, like my healthcare needs, even though I don't really have healthcare needs right now, they are met because of YouTube, because of not just the YouTube money that I make, which has taken a dip over the last couple of years, right? One year I made $45,000 from YouTube ad revenue. I haven't hit that since. I don't think it's worth looking up, but I also do want to look it up. I'm making $30K a year from my YouTube ad revenue, right? Plus the people who know about the things that I do because I have a YouTube channel, right? We could host Exodus Summit every year, but y'all wouldn't know about it if we didn't have YouTube, right? Some of you here today have reported updates that I didn't know about. You're living here, you're doing that, you're scouting this. How many of you would not be doing that if we hadn't started talking our talk on YouTube? YouTube has transformed not only my life, but it has fortified a movement. And I'm nobody special. I'm not exceptional. There's no reason that this should work for me and not anyone else. I don't have any background in media. I don't have any background in film editing, or I don't edit videos, right? There's nothing, I didn't have any connections in the beginning. I formed connections and formed community and formed relationship with people on YouTube. But I didn't have any connections in the beginning. There's nothing that would point me out and say, you're going to have successes from YouTube and other people can't. And so this is why I help other people start their YouTube channels. If you're a Black woman with something to say and you want to join my YouTube challenge, which starts on Monday, go to vicarious.com/challenge and register. It's not a free challenge. It's $197, okay? because I'm teaching you how to grow a YouTube channel. And I've just named the things that have jumped off because of this channel. My businesses, the movement, all of that has jumped off because of a YouTube channel. If you're willing to treat YouTube like a business, then you'll see this money back. Okay. If you don't see a pathway to getting $197 back from this challenge in your YouTube channel, then don't come. Right. But if you can see a pathway to make that money back, join us in the YouTube challenge on Monday. Okay. When I woke up, there were still 5 spaces left. If your channel already exists and it's not growing, join us. We'll talk about strategy to help your channel grow. If you don't have a channel yet at all, come on, let's go. Let's start it. But if you don't have a YouTube topic or subject, if you have a few different ideas, we can narrow that down. If you have no idea, I don't know that I can help you. Right? If you have no idea what you want to share on YouTube, then I don't know that I can help you. But if you have a few different ideas and you want to polish them, fix one, start with one, come on, come to the challenge. YouTube is a place to share a journey. So I often tell people, if you're on a particular journey, share that. But that doesn't have to be your way. That doesn't have to be your YouTube plan. It doesn't have to be about a journey. It happened to be for me and most people. But there's something that you as a Black woman, and there's no adult Black woman who is making it in this world, who is living in this world, who doesn't have something to share with somebody else, right? If you're ready to start sharing that, I think YouTube is important. I think YouTube is, there are not a lot of platforms out here that people want to be on anymore. Wow. Listen, Arlen Hamilton just invited me to talk to her community. Arlen Hamilton is an investor, big time investor lady, and she has a community for business growers, right? For entrepreneurs. I don't know why I couldn't get that word out. Entrepreneurs. And this week, I believe it was this week, I spoke inside of her community. And she was like, yeah, it's time to get on YouTube before they mess up YouTube. Okay. Because they've messed up Facebook. They've messed up Instagram. There was a time when my 25,000, our Exodus Summit community on Facebook is 25,000 people. There was a time when I could make a post and maybe like 20% of the members in that group would see the post. I just made a post yesterday, and when I looked hours later, 200 people had seen the post. There's 25,000 members in that group. And 200 people see and I'm the one who started the group. I'm the one who literally hit create group. What is the group name? Exodus Summit. I'm the one who did that. And when I make a post in that group, 200 people see it in a day. While we don't hate YouTube and Google, I'm not saying we love YouTube and Google, but while we don't hate them, right? Because we're actively working to move the Exodus Summit community off of Facebook. While we don't hate these platforms, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to start your channel. Because as Arlen said the other day, who knows? There'll be a time when we're like, man, F YouTube. Right, which is how we feel about Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook and everything. I watched an amazing two different TED Talks this week from a woman, and we were already 100% committed to moving Exodus Summit off of Facebook. 100% committed. It's hard. It's going to be hard and annoying, and it's going to cost money. Facebook is free. It's going to cost us money. We're still committed to it. But I've redoubled my commitment after watching those 2 YouTube videos from the woman who said, when it was 2 TED Talks, white woman from the UK. The first TED Talk, I actually watched them in reverse order, but her first TED Talk was about how Facebook allowed tampering in the Brexit movement. If you look at the small towns that overwhelmingly voted to leave the EU, they will say that the reason they wanted to leave the EU was immigration, but those towns don't have immigrants, right? The people who voted overwhelmingly to say immigration is a major problem in my country and we need to leave the EU because of immigration were people in small towns that don't even have immigrants. And they got their misinformation, which is a gentle way of saying propaganda and lies, from Facebook ads. targeted directly to those most vulnerable voters. And so she went on, she did a TED Talk about it, was sued from top to bottom, front to back, harassed, threatened, right? So, of course, a few years later, she did the second TED Talk, which is the one I watched first, where she talked about Facebook's allowance of interference in the US elections. So we've doubled my focus on getting Exodus Summit off of Facebook, and it'll probably be before the summer is over, before the summit, hopefully before the summit. But where am I going with this? Oh, YouTube. So it's time to get on YouTube, okay? Before YouTube starts wilding too, right? Those TED Talks were enlightening, scary, energizing, I want to say. They got me ready. We were already, like, we were 100% moving, but we were doing it, you know, more slowly than we're going to do it. We're going to do it faster. Because if Facebook can convince some people in a town in Wales with no immigrants that immigration is a problem and the EU is the reason for the problem, she said, I want you to watch the video, but I don't know how to find the video. If I type in TED Talk and Facebook, maybe it'll come up. She said, when you drive through her town in Wales, it was her hometown in Wales, the bridge, it'll be like this bridge, sponsored or paid for by the European Union. This civic center, they have like a sports center in her little town in Wales, paid for by the European Union, right? The town's quality of life, the townspeople's quality of life improved by being a part of the European Union, and a handful of Facebook ads run by who knows who, because Facebook is not transparent at all. A handful of Facebook ads run by who knows who those people are and what their real agendas are, turned an election, created this whole Brexit, and decreased the quality of those individuals' lives. And then we see the exact same thing in the United States with both Trump elections, right? Facebook, the devil. Okay? I'm convinced. Let me see if I can find it. If I go to YouTube and I type in TED Talk, Facebook, Brexit. Okay. So here's number one. Copy. She has a Welsh name, so listen, I can't tell you what her name is because you'll see, okay? I don't know how to pronounce Welsh things. I think they're playing a joke on all of us with their spelling. Okay, so that's video number one. I watched them in reverse order, but this is the first video. And then her second video is here. This is what a digital coup looks like. The worst part is this woman, there is such a marked difference in her demeanor. I don't mean her appearance as in the way she looks, but in her, she has been changed by these lawsuits, by this harassment, by the, who would sue somebody except, and I don't know. I didn't do too much Googling of her. Okay, and this is her second video. This is what a digital coup looks like. You see that last name, Cadwalder? I don't know. They be funny with consonants and vowels in Wales. So listen, this is not me going up for Google and YouTube as in trust them forever and they're the best. This is me saying, get it while the getting is good, okay? Grow your platform on a platform that you trust, in quotation marks, now before you can't trust them no more, right? When things are bad, we still have backup plans. I have an email list. If you haven't joined my newsletter and you're worried about one day YouTube going away, get on my newsletter. My newsletter is vicarious.com/newsletter. And the Exodus Summit newsletter is exodussummit.com/newsletter. Actually, the better way to get on the Exodus Summit newsletter, though, is to take our quiz. I'm going to give you that link because it's more fun. More fun than just getting our newsletter is to take our quiz. Which country should I move to? exodussummit.com/quiz. This is how you get on the Exodus Summit newsletter. Fanbase is Black owned, but Black owned is not always Black woman friendly. Okay. I don't know that man personally. He is Isaac Hayes' son, right? But it doesn't seem to be a Black woman friendly place. Black owned doesn't always mean this is a safe place for Black women. There are places where Black women go and get mistreated. Going back to point number one in this video, or number one, yeah. There are places where people go and get mistreated by Black men and overlook it because it's Black men. So I'm not going up for fan base either. Okay. I'm not going up for Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, fan base, none of them. Okay. Use what you use what makes, go where you like it. Go where you like it. Right. But Black owned is not, I am a Black woman. Okay. The Black owned is not, I'll say, Black owned is not always Black woman friendly. It's not always Black woman supportive. It's not always a safe place for Black women. I'm not riding for any platform, frankly, but go where you like it. Try some things out. I tried out Blue Sky. Nobody seems to be there. I've tried out a few others. I think it's time to get algorithms out of our business, right? And so that's why Exodus Summit will be on a platform that's not an algorithm heavy platform. It's not a platform that serves you things. It's a platform where you go and find what you're looking for, but not that recommends. We don't want a recommendation engine brainwashing us, right? Now, a thing that YouTube does really well is YouTube has a great recommendation engine. That's how most of you found me, right? So I know how it sounds for me to be like, I'm anti-recommendation engine. I'm anti-algorithm. I'm not fully anti-algorithm, but I think we need less algorithmic impact in our lives. Me, you, everybody. Less algorithms, more, what did I sign up for? What do I want to see? What do I want to learn? So, yeah, so I tried out Blue Sky. I've tried out Snapchat. I'm too old for Snapchat. I need a Snapchat teacher. My mom was like, I can't figure out this Snapchat. I was like, girl, me neither. Let's see if Keisha can teach us. I have a cousin, Keisha, who's younger. She's like Connie Perry's other daughter, my mom's other daughter. I was like, girl, neither one of us can figure out Snapchat. Let's get Keisha to help us. Yeah, I think what we want is less algorithmic interference in our thoughts. Snapchat, as it's been marketed recently, is you can opt out of the algorithm. You can opt out of Snapchat serving things up to you. You can just see the people you follow. Hooray, right? A new day, an old day, right? That's how the things used to be. That's how Instagram used to be. But Wake Up Makeup Slay says Snapchat is degenerate. I think it depends on what you're doing on Snapchat, ma'am. What you doing over there? What you doing over there? Substack, Samantha, thank you for bringing up Substack. So the Vicarians Sabbatical Fund has a Substack newsletter called the 6 Minute Sabbatical. If you go over to Substack, you'll find the 6 Minute Sabbatical newsletter. If you sign up for free, you just get a snippet of the newsletter. And if you sign up for pay, you get the full newsletter. I may be able to get that link for you. Substack is also a place where you can say, what did I choose to hear, right? Who did I choose to hear from? Not what does the algorithm want to feed me? Okay, don't tell Clarice. Okay, but I don't know her Substack link. Don't tell Clarice. Let me go to Substack. Let's see. What if I type in here, 6 Minute Sabbatical.substack.com. Okay. You may not know that on this channel, we have a sabbatical fund called the Vicarian Sabbatical Fund, where we put money together and we send Black women on sabbatical. We gave Alicia Renice, who's here, her 25K sabbatical fund last year, I guess, last year. And the year before that, we gave Maisha Francis her 25K sabbatical fund. It's 25K sabbatical money. I don't know who's getting this year's money. Sorry about that. Clarice and I will work on that sometime this summer. But if you're a subscriber to the Substack or the Patreon, you are getting that, you're giving to that fund. If you use the paid version, the paid money goes to that fund. Okay? All right. Crystal, forgot to say hi. Hi, Crystal. Good morning. Good day. Tay Dev says blue sky is growing. Okay. Yeah, hopefully it'll grow because I'm like, ain't nobody here. Threads is also owned by Facebook, right? Threads, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, which is going to be really hard to get off. Those are owned by Facebook. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Algorithms, there's a problem there. There's a problem there. Okay, but we were talking about the YouTube channel challenge. Starts Monday, 5 spots left as far as I know. Vicarious.com/challenge. And like Arlen Hamilton said, go ahead and get on YouTube while it's still while it's still a place people want to be. Because who knows? When she said that, I was like, exactly. Because who knows how long, who knows when YouTube will go down the road of Facebook. Let me link to this one more time. All right, so did we cover the 5 things? I don't think we did. These things that are deciding your move abroad that I don't think should be deciding your move abroad. Where are Black men, especially where are Black American men? What about your health insurance? Bugs? Where's there's no bugs? I don't care about that. Your church? I don't think there's anything to say about that. And where, there's churches all over the world. And it's not going to be your church, but there's churches. Or you can just watch your church watch it on YouTube. Your church is probably on YouTube too. And then finally, where can you get a job abroad? Unless you're a teacher, like an actual teacher, certified teacher of a subject, or you work for an international company that can transfer you, you're probably not going to look for a job abroad. Or if you work in healthcare, or if you work in one of the shortage industries of the country you want to move to. Okay, so there's some caveats. If you're not one of those people, you're probably not going to get a job abroad. What you're going to do is get a remote job, or remote income, or online income, or investment income, or slip and fall income, right? Operation slip and fall, or alimony, something other than a job in another country. Gig jobs. I did a whole video on remote friendly gig jobs, like gig jobs that you can do from anywhere in the world. When we think of gig work, we think of driving for Uber or Uber Eats or, DoorDash, but those aren't jobs that you can do in Mexico or Portugal or whatever, because you don't have a work permit there. But I did a full video on gig jobs that are remote friendly. What were they? Tutoring in English online, not teaching, but tutoring people in English online for a platform like Cambly or the others. They don't pay very well, $10 or $12 an hour, but that's the thing. I did a full video on that. Let me see if I can get that up here. YouTube. No, I should go to Studio. But that gig work, remote work, investment income, maybe your home rented out gives you enough money to live on and pay the bills of the home. That may be a thing. Maybe gig jobs for Black women to quit America. Here we go. Copy. Paste. Tutoring is super popular. Not just tutoring English, but tutoring in something is super popular. 9 gig jobs for Black women to quit America. Yeah, Chanel says it's going to be rental income for her. Dulce Vita, retirement. Yeah, use it. Yvonne, virtual assistant was one of the gig jobs. Thank you. Hi, Yvonne. Yes, virtual assistant was one of the gig jobs because there are agencies that will hire you. A gig job to me means you don't have to find your own clients. There's a place you go and the clients are already there, like Uber, right? You don't have to advertise as a driver. You just get on the Uber app and there's the clients popping up, right? You don't have to find your own clients. You can do it hourly, right? You decide on your hours. And for that video, you could be anywhere in the world. House sitting, right? Now, house sitting doesn't pay you, but house sitting gives you free accommodation. So those are some of the things we talked about in that video. It's okay with me if you go over and watch that video now, if money is a thing. If money is the thing that's keeping you from being abroad and you want to figure out a different way. Yeah. So Guyana can be quite colorist. Okay, yeah. So if that is where I think she's early in the video, we're talking about men. Yeah, so if that is what, so the waiting to find a job abroad it probably means you're never going to go. Waiting to find a job abroad, waiting to find a Black man in the US who will want to go abroad with you, you're not going. Okay, I'm sorry, you're not going. Unless you fit one of those caveats that I talked about for the job thing, you're not going, okay? Figure out a different way. When we talked about health insurance, there are a couple of exceptions. Some of you have a form of, what is it called? Medicare, that seems to be usable in Panama. I don't know anything about it, but people on Medicare seem to be able to use their Medicare at some hospitals in Panama. I don't know. They say that's a thing. I don't know anything about it. So that's an exception to the healthcare conversation that we had earlier. And then if you're a veteran, there are some VA hospitals plopped around the world. I personally, as a veteran, am not interested in going to only places that have VA hospitals because I'm gonna pay for my healthcare out of pocket. I think that freeing yourself from, veterans in particular, being able to free yourself from feeling like you need to be near a VA hospital will be helpful to you. Once you see what things cost. What you don't know is a lot of hospitals put their pricing menu online. How much does a CT scan cost? How much does this panel of blood work cost? The menu is on the internet at some hospitals around the world. If you do a little bit of looking, you'll probably find that you are okay with not being close to a VA hospital. I was in the Army, but only for 5 years. I didn't retire from the Army, but I do get a small 10% veterans disability check. And in the US, my only healthcare is VA healthcare, which I don't tap into. But I don't have any health insurance in the United States, and I can't afford healthcare out of pocket in the United States like I can in other places. So for me, healthcare in the US would be VA if I was there. But around the world, throw it in the bag. I'm paying out of pocket, okay? I'm paying $150 for the full Well Women's exam. I'm paying cash. Can I do two, right? Can I pay for hers too? Yeah. Healthcare transparency. So I'm telling you seriously, friends. If you're in the United States, and you've only lived in the United States, you don't know how greedy, how capitalist, how manipulative our healthcare system is. And so that's why we go other places and we see what it's like in other places. The menu is online. What does this cost? This much. Might be a range, it might be a specific amount. Right? Some of the women who joined us in Vietnam for the meetup in February went to Malaysia to get that full package of tests done. Anybody here do that? But you don't have to only do that in Malaysia. Any hospital, you can look at what that full package of tests was. You can look at any major, hospital in your city and put that test together yourself, a la carte, but you can do it yourself. Right? That it's a full panel of tests that people like to do in Malaysia. It's the Prince something hospital, Malaysia, something in Kuala Lumpur. And they were like, while I'm out here, I'm going to do that. And I considered it, but I didn't have time. I didn't have time to get to Malaysia. But you know what? I can do it here in Colombia. It's going to be a la carte, probably won't be all in one day, but I can piece it together and probably pay about the same amount, right? I think $400 they do. Anybody here? I think it's about $400, and it's a full workover. Everything you can imagine, they do. That's not uncommon. Hospitals put their prices on the internet in other parts of the world. You decide what you need, what you don't need, along with your doctor. Maybe you and your doctor decide on some things together. Yeah, there's a famous hospital in Turkey that people like to go to. Turkey, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Bangkok. Those are famous for it because they've packaged it together. But you don't have to. Adelia says there may be a hospital here that actually does it packaged. Look for executive medical services. Okay, I'm gonna Google it right now. Thank you, Adelia. Hi. Bogota. Executive medical checkup. Hospital Pablo Tablon, Country Clinic. I've seen Country. I'm close to the neighborhood that they call Country, which trips me up every time. Country Clinic does it. Clinica Reina Sofia, Queen Sofia Hospital. Okay, they do it. So let's see. Clinica Occidente, I think is pretty far. Hospital Serena del Mar, executive checkup. I'm gonna click on one and see if they have a price. Executive checkup about, and this is in English. So this is for foreigners and tourists. Are you an international patient? Contact our international office for more. Okay, about the service, technology, why choose us, what patient is suitable, what are the medical checkups. They have an executive women checkup, type 4 complete blood count, metabolic test, liver function test, kidney function test, stool, blood in fecal matter, something, guaca, something, serology study, thyroid stimulating hormone, cervical vaginal cytology. I can't finish reading this. This one doesn't have a price on it unless I'm not looking at the right screen. I'm going to send them a WhatsApp message real quick. A thing that Bogota teaches you. You don't start the conversation without saying, hello, good morning. How much does a executive women's, what was it called? Executive women's checkup cost? So WhatsApp is going to be really hard to get off because places, all businesses around the world use WhatsApp, right? So it's totally normal for me to go to a website and for them to be, okay, now next WhatsApp us. That's how my insurance policy lady is operating. It's how my attorney is operating. So WhatsApp, I don't know if I'll be able to get off WhatsApp. As much as I would like to be done with Facebook, all Facebook products, I don't think I'll be able to get off WhatsApp. I'll see. We'll see if they reply in a reasonable amount of time. They sent a prepared text, but it's in Espanol and there's no prices on it. So we'll see if our hours of attention are 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. So they may not have an automated thing that'll reply. But anyway, it's a thing. Thank you, Adelia. Thank you. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was $400 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm pretty sure it was about that. Okay. I'm looking through the chat. Amina says her Malaysia appointment is on the calendar for her birthday. Good. Good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So there are some places that are famous for it, but as Adelia just shared with us, it's probably in your city. It's just not a famous thing, right? It's just not a thing that people have shared out in the world. Okay. I'll see. I'm trying to stall a second and see if they do have, no, they're not, it's not even blue. The check mark's not even blue. So they're not going to answer me until Monday. Okay. But maybe I'll keep you posted. Maybe I'll make a special video about that. All right. Yeah. Rhonda says, hey, Rhonda. Rhonda, are you still house sitting or is that over? I'm looking currently, comparing the list to Bogota hospitals. Yeah. Okay. So she's comparing hospitals in Bangkok. I read book. I can read. She's comparing the Bangkok hospitals right now. So far, same amount, slightly cheaper, but not significantly. So all of the hospitals' prices are about the same amount. Do you know what is the amount, Rhonda? You can tell us in bot. I can Google it. Ozzy's question. Hey, Ozzy. What do you think about the process for Black women who are immigrants? I'm thinking about leaving, but I have family in the US. I'm concerned leaving or coming back would be an issue. Oh, leave. What I think about the process depends on where you're going. So some places have a much smoother process. I got my 4-year residency in Mexico very easily. Now that process has ended. Okay. The regularization in Mexico has ended formally now. So it had ended in some states. It's ended in the state that we were going to now. So, hey, classy hacker, who do I block? Who is it? Tell me. I don't see all the chat. You know, I'm on a third party, so I don't see everything. But if you tell me a name, I can go on YouTube and find out who to block if somebody's acting bad. So the process, ask me this question a different way, Ozzy, because the process, if your question is about coming back to the US, you're not going to want to come back. Okay. But if you have to come back, you can deal with it. I don't ask me the question a different way because maybe I'm not understanding. If you have to come back to the United States after leaving, you're going to try to prepare yourself to feel the difference. Feel the difference in how people treat you, right? Walking around so I was in New York for a few days. I rode the metro, I think 4 days straight back round trip, 3 or 4 days straight round trip. Every time I was on the metro, except for the very last time, Rashida Odiemi, who is your dream strategist, she can vouch for this. Every time I rode the metro, someone came to me, the Black woman, and asked me for help. Is this the right train to whatever? And does this train go to? On a car full of people or on a platform full of people, they singled out the Black woman. I understand because Black women are the best people, but there is a strain on being always viewed as the person of service to everyone. Living your life day in and day out, at home, at work, at church, in your neighborhood, in your friend group, always being the person who is of service to everyone else is a killer. Literally. And it's not a thing you notice until you leave. And nobody really asks you to do nothing ever. They don't expect you to do nothing for them. They don't have any demands or requests. They want to help you sometimes. Coming back to the United States and walking back into that it can be upsetting, right? And that is one of the easiest things for me to bring up, right? It's also the fear of, I don't have a fear of security guards, but I am tensed up when there is a security guard because I have been pepper sprayed in public by a security guard. Okay. So there's a security guard tension that I have that I don't see it. Let me see. And Amina's helping me too, but I don't see it on StreamYard. Neurda. Okay, hold on. Let me get on YouTube on my phone. On StreamYard, I can't see everything. There is a different way of interacting with people. Another thing we don't notice is how much of our energy is devoted to making white people feel a little more comfortable. You might think you don't, but you probably do. You probably do. I don't, maybe not everybody, but most of us, some of the stuff we do is just so white people don't lose their shit. You know, I think white people in the United States, living among white people in the United States is like driving it at night with deer on the road. Most of the time, you can get in your car and drive at night with deer on the road and have no problem. No problem. You might see the deer, you might not even see them. But one time, all it takes is one time for them to get scared, spooked, afraid. I feel afraid. And your shit is ruined. Your life is ruined. White people in the United States are like deer on the side of the road. It's best to not drive there. Okay? It's best to not live there. They are very aware. I don't see that person. I must have blocked him. Is it possible that I blocked him, but y'all can still see him? I'm sorry, friends. You're going to have to hit the 3 dots beside the person that's annoying you and just block them yourself. Because I'm on my phone scrolling, and I don't see NEUR. I have, oh, there. I did it. Boom. Okay, I think it's done, friends. Thank you for your patience with me. I find it best to not live with them, not live among them. They are very aware that they have the power and that they can wield that power at will without repercussion, with no repercussion. I watched a video the other day of a white woman. The police officers were coming to, she had apparently, I don't remember, she poured a soda on somebody or she did something. And the police officers came to her door to tell her that they had a warrant for her arrest. And he was so nice to her. He was so apologetic. He was so gentle with her. I've been pepper sprayed by a security guard. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a police officer coming to your door and apologizing for arresting you? A Black woman? Not even a child. Like, they don't even treat children with the same gentleness that they treated that woman for assault. She did assault someone. I don't remember, she poured a soda on him or she did something. She was assault. Sometimes I'll be like, years ago, I told you this story before. Years ago, I had a work husband. He was a white guy. And after work, we went out. We were younger people. Everyone has done this. I don't do this now. Okay. But I tell as much of the truth as I can. We went out and we got drinks. We drove back towards his house. Now, he also loved him some Adderall. So not only was he drunk, but he was on the Adderall, and his pupils, he had really, really light blue eyes, and his pupils were humongous. Every time he took the Adderall, it was clear he was high. So we're in 3 different cars, me, him, and his roommate, 3 different cars going from wherever the bar to his house. We stop at 7-Eleven to get cookies. Stop at the 7-Eleven, and there's 2 police officers there in the 7-Eleven. And my work husband goes up to the police officers and initiates a conversation with them, drunk and high and driving. And they joked with that boy. Oh my gosh, they were best friends. The comedy, the humor. Meanwhile, I'm like, I don't even want them to see me, right? So I go into the bathroom. Did you know 7-Eleven has a bathroom? I go into the bathroom because I'm like, there's no way. These men cannot see me get in a car. And then they all take off. He doesn't even wait for them to leave before he speeds down the road, drunk and high. Life is breezy for him, right? Meanwhile, I'm in the bathroom, and then I sit in my car for 20 minutes eating my cookies before I can go to his house. They're very aware. And at any time, they can choose to wield that power against you, a Black person. I don't think that's a shocking statement. I think that is reason number one of a million reasons to just leave the country. Just leave the United States. Just go. Unless you feel at peace driving among deer at night, knowing at any time, anytime, they can wreck your life. I think it's just best to go. They know. If they didn't know, they wouldn't wield the power. If they didn't know they had the power, they wouldn't use the power, right? They wouldn't call the cops on people or threaten to call the cops on people. They wouldn't do the things they do if they didn't know they have the power. The white people in the United States are a different type of people. White Americans, white Australians, white South Africans. They're a different type of people, right? They're genetically, they have been bred with other terrible white people to be terrible people. They don't have the same connection, the humanity, the empathy. They don't have it. They can't give it. You can't teach it. Right? You can't teach it. You can't keep people here. So I saw the woman who is the Letitia James, right? Letitia James, right? The New York Attorney General. I saw her give a talk the other day. I was sick yesterday. So I just laid out and watched videos all day. I saw her give a talk and she was like, we're going to persevere. We're going to persist. We're going to this, we're going to that. But she never said we're going to live good. She never said we're going to have joy and peace. I want Letitia James to quit and leave. I want Letitia James to live in peace. I want her to know the peace that is walking through a town in Mexico and having people say, buenos dias, buenos dias. Person after person after person. I want her to sit at a restaurant in Mexico and have a couple walk past her who finished their meal, turn to her and say, provecho, enjoy your dinner, and go on about their lives. I want Letitia James to live. She's committed to the fight. There are Black women who are right now committed to the fight, but that does not have to be you. You do not have to sacrifice your life, your health, your longevity, your peace of mind, your joy, your future. She's leveraging, she is selling, these women are giving up their future. Nobody expects those women to live to a ripe, old, healthy age. No, you don't expect it. How many how many people in the civil rights movement got to live to a healthy old age? None of us expect that. Let me drink some tea. I want her to leave and live a life that she loves. It's possible for her. It's possible for you. You can do it. Just go. You can go. Live, laugh, leave the country. Live, laugh, leave the country. Live, laugh, leave, friends. Live, laugh, leave. I want her children, her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren to know her and not have to read about her. Nobody expects that woman, nobody who has any history of having Black women in the struggle in their lives, nobody expects her to be able to live to a healthy old age. It's going to take her life. You choose, you have agency, right? Choosing how you live your life is Black power. She's got agency. She's got power over her life. But I'm just telling you what I would choose for her, okay? Because that's also what I've chosen for myself and what I would choose for you. Okay? Live, laugh, leave. Please. Live, laugh, leave, please. It's good over here. It's good. this last week, I told you the allergies have been getting to me. And this last week I looked in the mirror and I was like, I got bags under my eyes. I'm not used to this because I don't have that. I don't have that kind of life. I get my sleep. Okay, so Rhonda's telling us about that full checkup in Bangkok, 3,200 baht. Do I have the app on my phone? I got the XE app, which is the currency converter app, but I probably don't have baht on it. So let me add in some baht. It's going to take me a second because I never can remember how to add things. BAHT. Thai baht. THB is the abbreviation, and 32,200 baht for that full exam. Oh, now I didn't remove dollars and put in baht. Let me remove pounds and put in dollars. I'll tell you, I don't know how to do this. USD. $733 in Bangkok. $733.97 today. Did I put that right number in? No, that's not the right number. Hold on. 30, it's more than that. 32,200. Be patient with me. Please. $976 is what I'm coming up to. 32,000 baht is $976 for the full workup. Excuse me, full workup. Any test you can imagine. Anything you can imagine. Agency, Black agency is Black power. Black agency is Black power. When you have control over how you live your life, that's Black power. Okay, live, laugh, leave. If someone wants to design a t-shirt, let me know. Live, laugh, leave. Put that on a pillow. Put that on a pillow. That's funny. That's exactly how my mom says pillow. Put that on a pillow. Okay? Yvonne says Dr. King died at 30, had the heart of a 60-year-old. Nobody seriously, you don't expect that lady. As much as you might respect her, appreciate her, cheer her on, you don't expect her to be a happy old lady, happy, healthy old lady. I think that is a promise that I feel has been given, that I think old age to me is a prize. Maybe to not everybody, because my dad, he's not convinced. But I think old age is a reward, right? None of us expect them to receive that reward for all of the work. What reward will she get? What will she get? Not a rhetorical question. What will she get? I started out like this and y'all told me I was not being nice. And I think I calmed down, but now here I am again. Let me finish my tea. Okay. All right. So live, laugh, leave. I think leaving together is more powerful than staying together. If there was any indication that the fight would result in anything good, right? If there was any indication that the struggle would result in something. But what end result do you expect, Desi? I'm not kidding when I tell you those white people, they're not the same kind of humans. They're not the same kind of human beings we are. They don't have the same conscience. They don't have the same humanity. They don't have it. What do you expect the outcome to be? No, because nobody really expects the outcome to be anything better than it is today, right? The fight is really to kind of keep things the way they are. Whereas we can leave and live that life now. The things that people are fighting for in the United States today already exist in other places. Just go there. They already exist. You're fighting and fighting, right? Like seriously, can you imagine? You're fighting and fighting and fighting for something that already exists in other places. We can just go. Let that place, I'm not in the United States. Let that place, let them have it. Literally, let them have it. Let them burn it to the ground, sink it. Let them be occupied by China or Russia or whoever they want to be occupied by. Let them have it. Let them do it. Let it go. What is the end prize that you see sincerely, seriously? What is the end result that you expect? The most people can hope for is that things stay the same. Whereas you can just leave and go to a place that has the things that you already want. Get what you want. It's somewhere. The things that you want, the way that you want to be treated, the people you want to be surrounded by, they're already somewhere. You can just go there. Seriously, you can go there. Why do we have to be the ones to fix white people? I don't think there's a fix. I don't think they're fixable. When I was in Australia, here's why I always talk about how racist Australian people were. One of the people, I did a few different work exchanges. One of the families was very nice, but they were Dutch and British. They were not Australian. But the Australian family, the Australian man that I did a work exchange for, really sincerely was convinced that Aboriginal people were not human. Homo sapiens? He was convinced they were not Homo sapiens. And I'm like, you're the one. The thing that makes us human is our interconnectedness, right? Our kindness, our empathy. People who don't have empathy, I think, are not human. I think if you're lacking empathy, you're not an actual human. You need a different label. You might be a person, but you're not a human being. If you don't have empathy for others, if the only way that you can feel empathy is to experience something for yourself, which is not empathy, right? I think that means you're not a human. He's in there trying to convince me. I'm like, the call is coming from inside the house. You exactly are not a human being. That's not how I view a human being. These people, white American people, our DNA is a real storyteller, right? Our DNA is a storyteller. Their DNA, these people, having been enslavers, having been massacrers, they massacred the native people, and they stole their land, having been thieves, having been apartheid the creators of apartheid, right? These white people have bred with themselves over and over and over and over until they have created a different type of person. They're not the same people we are. You can see it. You can see it. You go all over the world and people are one way. And then you come to the United States and they're a different way. They're bred different. They're a different type. They're not the same human beings. They don't have a soul. They have bred the soul out of themselves. You can stay and try to convince them, but it's not going to work. Have you seen nowadays a lot of cats have thumbs? Have you noticed that? Polydactyl. There have always been polydactyl cats. It's been like a recessive gene. But nowadays, a lot of cats have thumbs, right? You keep breeding cats with thumbs, you're going to get a different animal. You're going to get a different type of cat. You keep breeding soulless people and see what you get. I'm convinced they're not the same people, right? Because I haven't been to every country, but I would say I've been around the world. I've been all around the world, right? They're not they're not the same people. They're not the same kind of human beings that the rest of the world has. That lack of a soul, that lack of empathy, that lack of care, that lack of connection makes them different. There's nothing that they won't do. There's nothing that they won't do to hold on to the power they have and to exert that power over other people. I don't see a point in staying. I don't see a point in staying. Now that we know this, right? A couple of generations ago, I don't think people knew that. I don't think we knew that, right? But now we do. They have elected to they have whatever Facebook's role in turning the election was, right? And other people, election interference, whatever role election interference had, still, those people voted for what's happening today. They voted to have brown people kidnapped from their homes and imprisoned in a foreign land with no hope of escape, return, release, no hope. That's what they wanted. It's exactly what they wanted. Maybe the percentages are off. Maybe there was interference and the percentages are off, but still the majority, that is what they wanted. The majority of white people in America, this is exactly what they wanted. You have a choice to stay there and fight. But what do you see as a possible outcome? I don't know. I don't know where the hope that things will be better comes from. I think the most you can hope for is that things will stay the same, right? Police will keep killing us, but not any extra, right? They'll keep killing us, but we won't go back to slavery, right? Our work job what is it called? Pay imbalance. It's going to continue, but it's not going to get worse. Like the most that we can hope for is to keep the status quo. Don't go full-fledged into another apartheid. Don't go full-fledged into a Holocaust. The most we can hope for is to not have a Holocaust in the United States with Black and brown and gay and poor people. The Holocaust would include a whole lot of people. This next Holocaust would include not just brown people, but also Black people, not straight people, not Christian people, any people with a disability. Absolutely, you getting it too, right? The most we can hope for is that we don't go into a full-fledged Holocaust. I don't understand not leaving. Listen, sincerely, I don't understand. If you think you have 30 more years to live, 40 more years to live, how much of that do you want to dedicate to that struggle? Right? If I was 75, 80, I might run the risk. But if you have children, I don't know. I sound like a fear monger until until things happen. I sound like a fear monger until they start rolling back our rights. So far, we feel like our rights as they were are still there. They're not. Okay, because the Supreme Court has already decided this is up for grabs, this is up for grabs. But we still feel like our rights are there. But when will you know? I think the question is kind of just like, when will you know it's time to go? And will you have a plan in place? Right? Will you have a plan in place? Some things used to seem really far-fetched until they didn't. The Handmaid's Tale, the TV show, The Handmaid's Tale, that seemed kind of far-fetched until they were like, oh, abortion illegal in Texas. Healthcare providers report women who have miscarriages, please. Right? Handmaid's Tale seemed far-fetched until it didn't. So Nina said I'd still be out the door if I was 80. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe I would stay because, at 80, who gonna bother you? You don't have a risk. I don't think you're going to get thrown in jail, right? A 40, 50-year-old Black woman minding her own business has the risk of what my dad used to tell me about Vietnam. I think you have the risk of getting thrown in jail for press charges against you for nothing. And then they put you in prison. And then now you're in slavery. I think that's what my dad told me when I told him I was going to Vietnam. First, he was cool with it. Then he was like, let me tell you what they're going to do. They're going to arrest you for nothing, put you in jail, and sell you into slavery. I think that's, that might happen for some people. That's already happened for some brown people. We haven't seen it happen to Black people yet, but it's already happened to some brown people in the United States. When will you know it's time to go, and will you have a plan? I think step one of a plan is to get yourself residency somewhere. Find a place that says, you're welcome here, right? Mexico ended their regularization process just the other day. So I think it's time to get working on it because different places, rules are going to be changing over and over. United States, I can't get over the fact that the United States expelled South Africa's ambassador. The South African ambassador in the United States was told to leave the United States and do not come back. Nobody seems to be up in arms about that, but can you imagine? And so that's going to change relationships with that country. There's going to be a trickle. There's going to be a domino effect. What other countries is the United States going to say, your ambassadors are not welcome here? And then what does that mean for people who want to then visit that place or move to that place? I think, it's time to get yourself a plan together, friend. Maybe Letitia James can do it and stop the train that's moving. Maybe she can stop a moving train. Then how much of your future and your family's future do you want to risk on that? She might be able to stop a moving train. Right? I think the train is Holocaust. Okay, if I'm not clear, I think the train is a Holocaust, not just an apartheid system, but a Holocaust. She might be able to stop it, right? But I'm not going to stick around and find out. Thank you. Thank you kindly. There are places where you can live that life today, that life that she's fighting for. And there's this small group of people, small, undersized, undermanned, underfunded. The life that they're fighting for, you can just have it somewhere else. You can just have it somewhere else. Let them have that place. There's forces keeping, Colin is a white guy. I don't usually refer you to white people. But he is an astrologer who I like on Instagram. And I met him the other day at Rachel Rogers' thing, Queer Cosmos on Instagram, Queer Cosmos. He said the same forces keeping planets revolving around the sun, right? Those same forces are at work in us. And I was like, thank you. That was helpful. So anything could happen. Those same forces that keep the planets revolving around the sun, right? Anything is possible. Okay, so let me add some optimism to things. Anything is possible. And those same forces can go to work to make the United States what it could be. The potential that the United States has, the potential for safety and peace and harmony. Those forces could align and make that a possibility in the United States. But those forces don't need me. And they don't need you. I don't have to do anything to keep the earth revolving around the sun. I don't need to. If the United States is going to become what it could be, somebody else can do it. Not Black women. COVID almost, right? I was like, a couple more years of COVID, and Native Americans gonna get their land back, right? But it didn't. COVID didn't do it. COVID didn't do it. Hello, Chantel Nicole. Oh, Dr. Bell. Yeah, let it go. How much of, seriously, I know you think that martyrdom, sacrificing your life, is worth it. I know that there are people who think that it's worth it. But being a person who is living a joyful life, to me, is what's worth it. I know you think martyrdom, sacrificing yourself, giving until your last breath, I know you think it's worth it, but I hope you at least will open up to the idea that there's another way. There's another way to live your life, and you will still feel worth it. You will still feel human, connected. You will be able to live in alignment with your soul and not be a martyr. Be able to live to a happy old age. I hope you can see that as a possibility for yourself. Everything is not our responsibility. Those people are not our responsibility. Okay? Okay. Everybody all right? So Bogota, Colombia, my birthday, July 5, you're invited. There's nothing planned. I hope to find a restaurant that will let 40 or 50 people hang out at dinner on July 5. I'm supposed to go to one tonight to see how I feel. I'm supposed to go to one restaurant tonight. I wish I had a friend here to go with me. But if you're coming to my birthday party, there's no thing yet, but keep your ears on this channel. I need to make a place for people to firmly RSVP so I know how many people are coming. I think we'll do a birthday party dinner on you. Okay, I'm not paying for dinner for 50 people, but I think we'll do a birthday party dinner on July 5. And maybe for some people I think we'll do a birthday dinner and maybe a brunch on whatever that Sunday is. I think July 5 is Saturday. And so brunch on Sunday. And so maybe you can come to one or the other, if not both, if there's too many or whatever. So I guess I need to find two different restaurants, a dinner restaurant and a brunch restaurant. I think the brunch restaurant is going to be harder. I think it's going to be harder to find a place to seat that many people. Yeah, so keep your ears on. If you're coming, go ahead and book your flight. Like seriously, Bogota, Colombia. It's going to be somewhere in the Chapinero area of Bogota, which is like east of the airport. Chapinero. If you have a husband or a spouse or a partner or a son or boyfriend or whatever, this is co-ed. So y'all can both come because I want you to come. Sometimes people don't come because they're not a solo Black woman. So I want you to come. And I have a handful of male subscribers. You're invited. You're welcome. And there'll be some place for you to say firmly, I'm coming. Some place for people who have a ticket or are already in Colombia or something to firmly say, I'm coming. This won't be for everyone. I don't want everyone to sign up just because you think you might want to maybe come. But I want to create a place for people to say, 100% I'm coming. 99%, I'm coming. So keep your ears on here for that. Maybe this is the thing to get in the newsletter for. Yeah. Part of me doesn't want to email this out because I got to keep the number relatively small. I think 40 or 50 people is reasonable. I don't know how to plan a thing if 100 people are going to be there. Bogota, you need to look at the weather app. Bogota in July is still only going to be about 65 degrees. Okay. Bogota is not near a beach. Here's mountains and coffee farms and stuff. But if you're interested in seeing some other part of Colombia or some other part of South America, this might be a good stop. Come here for the weekend, hang out, party. Party, by party, I mean have food at a restaurant. I'm 51, okay? Chill out. I'll be 51 on my birthday. But that's what we'll do. Glass half full. Did you also say an Exodus Summit sponsored meetup was happening? So Exodus Summit meetup. So this is like an unofficial Exodus Summit meetup because there'll be men there. In Lisbon, Portugal, we're doing a mashup meetup, Exodus Summit and Blackset Global, Lisbon, Portugal, October 24th. Again, a one-day dinner. I think there's a ticket to that, and I don't know how to get that information. Oh, there's a meetup in the Facebook group. In the Exodus Summit Facebook group, there's an event for the October meetup. What am I telling you? So that's also co-ed because it's Blackset Global and Exodus Summit. And then there are meetups happening all over that Black women are going to. So go into the Exodus Summit Facebook group, join us in the Exodus Summit community, and go to a meetup. The women who are making progress, most of these women have not done it in a silo. They have not done it isolated. They haven't done it alone. They've gotten accountability partners, friends to work on this along with them, to report back. So join us in the Exodus Summit community. For now, we're still on Facebook, exodussummit.com/community. Go to the events section and look for a meetup near you. If there's no meetup near you, have one. Invite people to dinner with you or brunch with you or a movie with you or whatever. I just had a meetup here. Oh, I don't know that I could call it an Exodus Summit meetup because I was the only member of Exodus Summit there, but I had a meetup with 2 Black women. I was like, who wants to go? First, I was like, who wants to go see the movie Sinners with me here in Bogota? And they had already seen it. So we were like, well, let's go eat. Yeah, I just organized my first meetup in Bogota. Yolanda and Cherry, neither one of them live here. Yolanda's already gone back home, and Cherry's on her way to, I think, Cali, Colombia soon. So I still don't technically have friends. Okay, I don't technically have friends here, but I do have friends who have been to Bogota before, so that's nice. They can come back and visit anytime. Yeah, but so you can host your own meetup. Okay, Harlem Minded. Hello, flight booked. Okay, yeah, if you're coming, let me get some. I said this last week, I believe, and I still didn't do it. Let me get an event somewhere that is not the Exodus Summit Facebook group so that you can say, if you booked your flight, that you're coming. So you can firmly RSVP. So I can get a couple of restaurants in our circle. The problem is I kind of naively thought that maybe I would be in a home by then, in an apartment, a furnished apartment. Bogota, there's some nice furnished apartments at a reasonable price. I thought that maybe I would be in a furnished apartment by then and we could do something there too. A little like, what is it called when you just have an open house? Open house? But I don't know if that's going to be possible. And Airbnbs are really funny about stuff like that. Especially Airbnbs in Bogota, everything is in an apartment building and they make you sign people in and out. But maybe I can find an Airbnb, but then you'd have to have a car. There are houses that are Airbnbs, but they're a little bit out of town and then you'd have to Uber there. Let me plan some things. You go ahead and plan to come to Bogota because it's happening, whatever it is. If you're okay with it being really informal and not a whole lot of activity and just like a meal with some of the women, some of the people in this community, then come. Yeah, it would have been it could have been a housewarming. It might not be too late. Don't count on there being any sort of open house part of the birthday party, okay? There possibly would be an open house portion, but don't count on that, okay? Don't count on it because I don't know. I thought that I would be like, I thought last week I was going to be like, I found a place and I move in June 1st, right? Like, because there's a lot of places in my budget that would work and that fit, but there are not a lot of places that will let me move, that will let me rent from them without the cedula, the Colombian, like, it's kind of like a tax ID number. And that's taking more time. So don't count on an open house situation. Just count on it being a restaurant. There'll be a community, probably a WhatsApp group, so y'all can meet each other. Those of you who have husbands or male partners or whatever, and you want to meet some other women with husbands, and y'all get together separately. Y'all do this, y'all do that. Plan it. Come. July 5 is the only day that I expect something to happen, but I would imagine July 5 and 6, I think, is the Sunday. I would imagine Saturday and Sunday, dinner and brunch. Let me double check that. 5 is Saturday, 6 is Sunday. I would expect like those two things, and then whatever else y'all want to plan. If you want to take a coffee tour, if you want to take a market tour, there's the tours of the market on Airbnb Experiences. They have a fruit tour, which I might take beforehand just to try it out. There are several different fruit tours. Y'all can organize things separately so that y'all can get together and meet other people, right? There will be there will be a WhatsApp group. I don't have any info on Cali, Colombia. I think it's hot. I think Cali is Cali on the beach? Colombia is two things, either hot or not hot. That's all I know about Colombia, okay? Is it the hot part or the not hot part? Bogota and Medellin, not hot. Cartagena, hot. And I think Cali is hot. Let me look. Cali's not on the beach, Oh, it looks really pretty. Oh, that looks really pretty. I don't know. So Cherry, the woman I just met, she's on her way there. Maybe she'll send some pictures. She's been sending pictures in the WhatsApp of her travels. Maybe she'll send some pictures. I got nothing. Jules says, not on the beach, but it is hot. Okay. So you can go ahead and plan to come. If you're waiting for me to give you a whole lot more information before you come, you're not going to come. Okay. Just like I said, if you're waiting on a Black man in the United States to meet you, marry you, and then move abroad with you, you're not moving abroad. Okay. If you're waiting on me to have a whole lot of information before you say you're coming, you're not coming. So how will you know? I would say if you're okay with this, let me get an email address right now. I'm gonna make a Gmail account. Do y'all have a few more minutes? Do y'all have a few more minutes for this birthday stuff? If you don't have a few more minutes, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being so wonderful and patient here. I'll see you next time. Okay, but I'm gonna make a Stephanie's birthday email address on Gmail, and I'm going to give you that inbox and tell you, if you know you're coming, email me. Okay, because one thing about me is I will start a new Gmail. I have about 14 Gmail accounts. Create account for personal use, Stephanie. Okay, and then you got to give them your birthday. July 5, please. You have to tell them your gender for some reason. Okay, and then create your own Gmail, Stephanie's birthday at gmail.com. Oh, I put an apostrophe. I don't think you can put an apostrophe in there. No, let me take that out. That's Stephanie's birthday. Username is taken. Bogota birthday. Password. Phone number. Phone number has been used too many times. What's that mean to me? Confirm you're not a robot. I have too many email accounts. I don't have another phone number. So get over it. Oh, well, I don't think it's going to work. I don't have another phone number because I used to have a second SIM card, but I don't have it in anymore. I got a new phone and it doesn't have room for a physical SIM. Phone has been used too many times. Well, that didn't work. I don't know what to do. There's no skip. There's no skip section. Let me go back one and see if there's something else. Password. Because, when you're in other countries, things are really hard. Like, things are harder than you would expect. Being in Colombia means Google is going to be so much more suspicious of everything. So there's no skip for that. Let me see if anybody's given me any other advice. Where are y'all? Here. Proton Mail. Use Proton Mail. Get a Google number. Maybe let me try to turn on my VPN and see if I can skip the phone number verification part. Let me try that. If this is not thrilling to you, you don't have to stick around. Thank you for being here. If you're not planning on coming to my birthday, you don't have to stick around for this part. Thank you very much for being here. I'll see you guys again soon. I turned on my VPN. Okay, add account, create account, personal use. I really do. I think I do have at least 12 Gmail accounts. I don't hardly use them. One is for YouTube, one is for this, one is for that. Gmail. Okay. Bogota birthday at gmail.com. Password. Okay, got my VPN. Let's see if it lets me skip the phone. No. Okay, let me go to Proton Mail. I'm just gonna have to try to forward this mail, right? Or is there any other inbox? If I use that one, you're gonna know my, I don't want to use my Apple iCloud email, right? Yeah, let's make one. Free, thanks, at proton.me. Is there another thing? Any other choice? Protonmail.com? Proton.me is fine. No, thank you. I don't need that. Okay, we have a birthday party. It's circling, but I think it's working. Birthday party email account. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Si se puede. It's thinking. It's thinking. Human verification. Your email will only be used for this one-time verification. So I need to enter an email address. And put my Yahoo in there. Okay. And then go to Yahoo. Okay, here's my verification code. I think we're making progress, friends. Creating account. Verification successful. Set a display name. Okay, I think it's working. I'm going to go ahead and put that in here, and then I'll finish the rest of this later. Okay, if you're coming to my birthday, no, coming to Bogota, because you're not coming to my birthday, for my birthday on July 5, please email Bogota birthday at proton.me. Okay. Bogota. All you have to do is say, I'm coming, I got my flight and I'm coming. You don't have to tell me anything else. I just need a count. If it's more than one of you, say that. Okay? Okay, let's do that. That's the way that I can get at least start getting a count. And then hopefully I'll go to that restaurant today. I don't know. It's a place with music. It looks huge. And I think we can get a room, still be in the room in the restaurant with the music and the food, but have our own room. So if you know you're coming, email that. If you just think you might want to come, please don't email me yet. Okay? If you I got my flight, I'm coming, or I'm already going to be in Colombia, so I'm coming, then please email. If not, then not. Okay? Wait. Write this email address down and wait. Okay? Please help me help you. Help me have a count that is accurate. I don't want to have a count of 60 and 14 people come. Okay? 14 people is much easier to plan for. Okay? So let me plan for the right amount. And it's okay if you we'll say a deadline of probably, because I think these restaurants are going to be super flexible. This is Latin America. I'm going to say a deadline of 3 weeks before. I don't know when that is. But 3 weeks before would be June 14th, which is kind of an easy one to remember. By June 14th, RSVP by June 14th. Oh, that's the wrong email address. Thank you. That's the wrong email address. I didn't copy and paste it. Thank you, Arlene. Did anybody else? Don't wait. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Don't email me yet. Oh, shoot. BOGOTAB. Thank you. At Proton. Wait, if you emailed me, that was the wrong email address. I'm sorry. Let me make sure I did it right on Proton. Let me make sure I did it right. I'm stuck on another screen. Let me go ahead and put my phone number in here for that. Save and make sure I spelled Bogota right on here. It's loading the account. Welcome to Proton Mail. BOGOTA. I spelled it right. Birthday at proton.me. Okay, friends, listen, we're going to get it together, okay? Bogota birthday at proton.me. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for catching that. Okay. Okay. Bogota birthday at proton.me. This is where you formally RSVP. Let me know how many people. July 5. Okay, July 5 and 6. If you're coming earlier, in the WhatsApp group, some things will be happening. I'll be here. Right. So if you're going to be here on the 3rd or 4th, that's fine. Somewhere in the Chapinero region. Chapinero includes the Chapinero area of Bogota includes the neighborhoods of Chico and the Andino Mall is Andino and the Cabrera and Chapinero. You'll see. Everything will say Chapinero. It's like in Mexico when everything says, does it all say Chapultepec? Well, everything says that one area, even though it's not really. It's Chapinero. I think, let me give you a landmark. The restaurant that I think we're going to be at is near, I think I still have that tab open. Let me look at that location. Let me give you a hotel near the restaurant. Not that this is where it's definitely happening, but if you're in the area of this, you're going to be in the right area. Let me look at hotels here. Back. Doubletree Hilton, Bogota, Parque 93. Parque 93 is a good landmark. Parque 93. Parque 93. Doubletree Hilton. Okay, so I'm not saying that anything is happening at the Doubletree Hilton Parque 93 in Bogota, but I'm saying if you're near that landmark, you'll probably be near the happenings. Okay, there's still 500 of you here. I know 500 of you are not interested in my birthday party, so thank you for hanging out. Okay, okay, and then more details to come. More details to come. Most of it will probably be via email because this is co-ed, so posting details in the Facebook group won't be as helpful. I will put info in the Facebook group, but email is probably the best way. Okay. All right, friends. Thank you very much for joining in. I hope that this video, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today. Thank you for helping me fix the spelling. Thank you for helping me get this email address. Thank you for all of that. This is good teamwork. I appreciate you so much for that. Okay, and see you guys again soon. I'm scrolling through the chat real quick. Adelia says make a Google form. I will, but I thought the email address was going to be faster. I had intended to make a Google form, and then I said the email address will be faster, and then it wasn't, and then I got off track. So it should have been a Google form, but emails count. It's just, it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. Okay. Thank you, friends. Thank you for hanging in there. You know what? There was probably a super chat. I'm sorry, St. Nick. I appreciate your advice. Uber driver ruined my ride to work yesterday. Thank you for the super chat, St. Nick, and I hope you're still here. I hope that you have a good day. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us today. I hope you enjoyed this community this time. All right. See you, Christian Jane. See y'all. Have a wonderful day. Happy weekend. Bye, guys.